today we are going to talk about ideas for social media and strategies around posting on social media. Prue's book for us today is The Knitted Fabric by Dee Hardwick. And of course, the chicken will make an entrance just a little bit later. All right.
Excellent. Okay, so social media post ideas.
Oh, yes, the beast that is social media, Prue. I don't know how you find this, but I sometimes find this quite not overwhelming, I suppose, but just a bit, I've gone from being not amazing at social media, but into it and everything, and just like, oh, come on, I've got to keep feeding this thing. So, yeah, I'm feeling a little bit, what do you
I
recommend?
feel like you're just feeding the beast rather than
A little,
loving
yeah.
it. See, I actually really love social media, and
Yeah.
maybe it's just my extrovert out there kind of personality, but I sort of see that for the most part, there's a few sort of negative elements out there, but for the most part, I've had a really good experience of connecting with people around the world through social media. I feel a sense of sharing my story and getting feedback and insights and reflections from people out there in the community. And then I love seeing their sharings about what they're making, what they're learning, who they're spending time with, how they're being creative. All of those things I love. So I don't have that kind of relationship with social media where I feel like it's all for the gram. Like I feel like it's all my own sense of community. But having said that, there are days where I'm like, you know what? I'm not in the headspace to post anything today. I actually just need to get off the screen and do something. There are days where I don't post anything, but most days I do try to post at least one thing a day on the grid, and then one thing to the stories, which is often actually just share to stories.
So is it Instagram for you is the one, or is it completely equal between Instagram and Facebook?
Instagram is my starting point, and then I have it set up so that anything I post to Instagram goes to Facebook, and then I'll kind of hover around Facebook because obviously I'll see the little red circle pop up with a notification that people have commented, and then I'll go over there to see and to react, interact with those people. But generally, I don't jump on Facebook that often. I'm mostly on the gram. I prefer the setup there.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. And so when you're coming up with stuff to post, because I have started reading a bit about strategy and content planning for social media, and that, clearly it's better to have a plan. You don't just go in and not know what's going on. And I have sort of read that only 30% of your posts should be promotional. Because otherwise, I get it. Otherwise, it would be too much for people to just be reading "buy me, buy me, buy me" all the time. So, how do you come up with ideas on, what will you post?
So, first, I just want to say I haven't planned everything.
You can't plan everything, but there's like
No, but I'm saying I don't have a plan for my personal social media.
Wow.
Like I manage the Fiber Feast account, and I do have a plan. I did have a plan for that in the lead up to our big event in March. So for like 3 months in the lead up or more, from December onwards, I had like a plan, and everything was like I had a spreadsheet. And I had like, this is this day, this is what's happening, this is the image that goes with it, blah blah blah, and the hashtags and everything. But with my own account, it's very much more like, what am I thinking and feeling today, and what am I doing, which actually isn't very efficient. It would be much better if I actually batched it. I sat down, I did all the Canva stuff at one go. I planned out all the copy for it. In fact, if I didn't just do my Instagram, but I also did my blogging at the same time and planned all of that and had like an omni-channel approach where I'm, same story or same content across multiple channels. But that's not how I currently do it.
Yeah, right. But when you were doing a plan for Fiber Feast, what sorts of posts were there different types of posts each time? Yeah. So what sorts of posts?
So the strategy we went with was more around the 3 sort of main content ideas. One was about brand awareness, so sharing the logo of each brand. The second one was around a little bit of yarn porn, like sharing images of people's stuff that they were selling, the beautiful shiny colors and everything.
Yeah.
And then the third thing was around more like knowledge and awareness and community. So it was more like, oh, you know, happy Valentine's Day, love for, you know, I love yarn or something, and happy Christmas, those kind of community kind of sentiment things. And that's a really good thing for a brand to have that as part of, you know, to be aware, like local yarn store day or Worldwide Knit in Public Day, which is coming up, you know, having those kind of holidays marked and engaging with that. But also we've recently been going back and trying to sort of group people, or like I've been going back and grouping people and sharing, oh, this group of people came from this state, or this, you know, this I'm also going to be posting about this group of people are all like mill owners and so forth. So looking for those commonalities, because also it's beneficial for cross promotion. So if they share to their stories or share to their grid, that means that other businesses are benefiting. So
absolutely,
as much as possible, we want to be sharing and building our ecosystem and using social media to build our community and build collaboration, and so everyone can be successful.
I think I love those brands the most on social media that really let personalities shine through. Like, you know, and it's about, so for me, it's about having the confidence to do that. Going, oh, do I actually, you know, I'm not an expert. Oh, I don't need to be, but you know, I just need to get out there and be friendly and authentic and open and have a go and build that up, I think.
Yeah, totally. And I mean, I really admire people that share how-tos, and they do a lot of like video. My grid doesn't look like that. One day it might look like that, but for me, there's a bit of setup that's involved, and I don't always have, I don't know, the time, energy, lighting, whatever. So yeah, so mine are more static images, like more carousels and stuff. But I really love some of the people out there that are so generous and sharing like how-to videos all the time in their grid, or whether it's knitting or whether it's actually about social media. So there's one account I follow about Canva, and I've forgotten what it's called now. The Creative Bodega, and she's really so helpful in the amount of information she shares on how to use Canva and how to create content for your social media that's engaging. And there's actually a lot of stuff out there to support nitrepreneurs to create engaging content for social media.
Yeah, absolutely. You just have to sit down and do it, don't you? Have a bit of confidence. Have the confidence, everyone. It's okay. You do know what you're doing. Am I talking to everyone? Am I talking to me? Okay.
But also, can I say one other thing too? Like, you need to kind of look broadly. Like, don't just look at other yarn companies or other tour operators or other designers. I follow people like Gary Vee, who's an entrepreneur, and Jay Alderton, who is a life coach, I suppose, sports personality, and also the holistic psychologist. And they're all like in totally different industries to what I work in, but I really admire the way that they share their stories, and they have totally different approaches. Lots of video, but not just video. They use lots of other strategies to share their message, because we're all different learners as well. Like, we need sometimes to see written content, sometimes we need to hear it, sometimes we need to see it demonstrated. So I admire social media accounts that kind of acknowledge that and help people to understand a message in different ways.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a really good point. I've now got a few. Okay. Hold on to that. We'll write down ideas as we go. Now, a book. Prue.
A book.
You have a wonderful book.
This one is such a lovely book. Oh my gosh. I can't believe we haven't reviewed it yet, because I've had it for a couple of months now. Actually, it's been 2 months since I went to Vogue Knitting. How crazy is that?
Oh my God.
And it was about 2 months ago that I met this author, Dee Hardwick. She is a beautiful person.
She does those beautiful color work that she does.
Beautiful color work. I even have it inscribed. I'm so grateful. She was beautiful. She is beautiful. She's actually a trained artist, and like, she has all her beautiful like watercolors and sketches throughout the book. Then she's got different projects.
Look at those
butterfly blanket. There's a sweater, this gorgeous sweater. I would love
Yeah.
to make this sweater. She's
Yeah.
got lots of motifs that you can use to create different projects. Where's the other thing? She's got this lovely picture, and again, I need to be more prepared for these and actually have like pages tagged. But as I'm flicking through, I'm like, I want to show you her tiles that she made and how she then used that to create. So she's all about like interdisciplinary, like multimedia and multimodal type and multimedia type approaches, where she'll take like a particular motif and then she'll take it across into painting or into tiles, so ceramics and so forth, and then she takes it through to knitting. And I think that's the sign of a true artist. It's again what we were talking about before, having the confidence to take something and play with it, put your own spin on it, use different yarns, different color choices and combinations in order to create something uniquely yours. So starting with Dee's inspiration, but then adding all your own DNA to it to create something.
Well, like that idea, and your own, your own DNA. That's cool. Yeah.
So that's well worth, and that's published by Elena, and their books are just next level.
Yeah. Awesome. Do you know what else is next level?
The chicken.
Chicken of Wisdom is always next level, everybody. Chicken of Wisdom always knows
welcome,
what to
Chicken
say.
of Wisdom.
Yeah. And today, to finish off our episode, the Chicken of Wisdom is just going to remind us all that we do not have to live up to or down to other people's ideas of us as well. So I think this,
so wise.
Yeah, I think so. And I think it ties back in, like we can be ourselves, try our own thing. We don't have to live up to what other people think of us. What other people think of us is none of our business. It's fine. They can do their thing and we can do our thing, which is have knitted chickens in podcasts and do lives about stuff off the top of our heads, and because we can.
Because we can. But I've got some homework, Jess, for people before we go. If people put in the comments their favorite knitting channel on Insta, or favorite social media channel that on any platform, and why. Like if there's someone out there that you think is doing great stories and you want people to know about it, please tag us, tell us.
Well, help us out, because we're always learning as well, particularly me with this. I'm new to that. We're new to this. It's okay. Happy to learn, happy not to be perfect, and don't pretend to be an expert. So please, any assistance will be great. Leave some tips and tricks in the comments, or ask us some questions and we'll figure it out.
Excellent. All right, see you next time.
Thanks everyone. Bye.